inside. You keep looking inside of you, of how to go beyond where you're at. When you do that, the world opens up. But if you don't do that, you're conforming. If we don't go beyond what we know how to do, we're conforming to what we know how to do. And when an individual starts to conform according to what they know or what they believe or what they see, guess what? They'll go as far as they've ever been. They're done growing. So it's important also to understand your why. Find a why that's worthy of you. If you're doing things right now that really don't drive you, that are not fulfilling you, that means you haven't found something that you truly desire and want. So it's important to really define your own why, define your own goals, and to do things on purpose. If you find yourself that you don't want to do the thing on purpose and you're not doing things on purpose, then you're just doing things. You're a human doing. Right? When you're a human doing, that means you won't be inspired and you won't go beyond and you won't look for the answers and you won't look for the how and you won't be creative and you're not going to go beyond what you're already doing. When you're a human, just doing things. But when you're a human being, that means you're becoming more than what you are. Very interesting how that works. Human being is becoming something more, and human doing is just doing things. So there's human beings and there's human doings. Would we not agree? How many times have you found yourself just doing? You don't feel alive. You don't feel fulfilled. Right? It's important to understand the why and have your why something that really drives you, something that moves you, something you go to bed with, something you wake up with, and you're going to find yourself doing things on purpose.
Of that, we want you guys to write your goal, not something that you think you can acquire, something that when you think about it, and same time scares you, and at the same time excite you. Write down what is it and how you think you can acquire it.
Zach, can you put on some music? I want everyone to write down their goal. And is this goal worthy of you? Is this goal going to give you what you truly want? Is this goal going to move you? Is this goal something you truly want? Am I worthy of the goal? Is the goal worthy of me? Ooh. Yeah. Are the things that I do every day worthy of me?
That was quick. He wants to know exactly what you want. Yeah, good.
Goals are not to get, they're to grow. It's who you're becoming. Even bigger than this is who you're letting go.
So think about this. When you're writing your goal, are you worried about telling others about your goal? Why? If you do. I'm going to ask everyone here to tell me their goal. I bet most of you guys are
Don't change it.
Worried of what other people are going to think. That's the first thing that you're going to say, and that's right there paradigm. Because you don't think about, and instead of you focusing on what is it that you want, you're focusing on what other are going to judge you and how they're going to judge you and what they're going to say about that. If I tell you most of your decision is based off of the other's judgment to make sure that you get judged less, you're going to get judged anyway. That's that. But a lot of decision that we make is about what is other people going to think about this decision that I make. This is where I want to go. They think they're going to tell me who you think he is, right? And we're like, and you start thinking about your results and past. You're like, yeah, that's not who I am. I mean, I'm not going to say. I don't want to be embarrassed from everyone. I'm not going to say it. My core result doesn't talk about this, and look at my results. I'm a mess. And when you do that and you think about that, because we judge ourselves based off of our history, that's a wrong way of thinking. Because if you think like that, your familiar past become predictable future. From today, you can start thinking in a certain way. Thinking, I know what I want. I understand this information. I understand I'm a transformer. I understand I bring thoughts into physics. And I'm going to consciously select the thoughts that I want, and I'm going to start working on them, regardless of what other people say. I remember when, and that's not only battle with others, it's battle with yourself as well. I remember when I was wanting to start my first business here in the United States. I remember when I was going back and forth, I said, hey, I'm going to do it. And my parents would say, no, you're risking it. You're secure. You have a job. These guys like you. Why would you go somewhere else? Why would you want to start your own? I mean, just stay here another year. I was like, no, I really want to go become this guy who I want to become. That's why I came to the United States. So I was going back and forth with myself. And it's very interesting when you get in depth in this information. It's not just you. You start seeing your paradigm in other people as well. So what happens, when I was decided to go start my company, the owners of the company came and said, you know what? We're going to raise your pay. For me to not leave. Go after what I want. And I was like, oh, they're raising my pay. I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to stay. I'm going to stay. And every one of us have that inner conversation with ourselves. Every one of us talk to ourselves. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then I start saying, well, let me stay here. They're paying me more. And then they start telling me, I said, no, I want to go start my own company. They said, hey, why don't you just be part of this company? We're going to make you owner. We're going to make you give you a percentage of the company. Stay here. And I said, oh, that's great. That's what I want. I said, okay, guys, this is very funny. They just offered me, and there was no plan, no goal, nothing. And I immediately, because I was waiting for that moment, I stepped into become a partner. He was just offering it to me. Because I said, okay, guys, this is what I want for this company. And they were like, immediately right after they said, hey, potentially we're going to make you a partner, I start telling them where I want to take the company. I look at their eyes, they were all scared. Like, no, that's not what we want. Go start your own company. But what I was wanting to say is, at that time, you're not only dealing with yourself, you're dealing with paradigms too. Because at that time, my wife was telling me, hey, why would you do that? We just bought a house. My family was telling me, their family was telling me, hey, you know, you have a secure job. They like you. You one day, you know, you're going to make the money that you want. Why wouldn't you rush? You're new. You've been in the United States only 4 years. Why would you want to do this? What if you don't make it? What if? I was like, oh, they're right. What if? But again, if you go back to the other slide, I was going back to my vision. That's the key here. Back to vision. What do I want to see? No, that's not what I want to see. I want to see that I have my own company and I'm a multimillionaire, and the thoughts that I had back in then, I'm going to go chase American dream. I'm going to make a lot of money, and no, I'm not going to do that. So I stop again and go back and forth. But at that time, was I judged? Yeah, all the time by others. Would I make fun of? Yes, I was made fun of. Did I doubt myself? Yes, I doubt myself. But I keep pushing, going back to the vision. Every time, now that I'm having a better understanding, every time I was going back to the vision of who I want to become, idea will come and tell me, hey, do this. Hey, go here. Hey, have you thought about this? It was just idea comes, and I was taking action on those ideas that brought me here. Did I knew how I'm going to make it here? Absolutely not. But every time I was going forward, a little bit forward, things start happening and start showing me the route. What I'm saying is, when you write something, before I say that, when I was talking about my goals, that I want to have a car that I'm driving, the life that I want, my lifestyle, I was telling my sister, my family, my friend, everybody knew about it. Because I wasn't worried if they're going to do it. I said, I don't care. Then I'm going to go after the dream life that I want. Right? And then when I've achieved those goals, my family and friends, close friends, they were not surprised. They said, oh yeah, this guy's been talking about this for 20 years. He's been talking about going to the United States for 20 years. Why? Because I wasn't worried whether they're going to doubt me or they're going to say, hey, whether he can do it or not. Because I knew they're going to say something. Even I didn't have this information, but I keep going back to my vision. And if you guys keep going back to your vision, regardless of what other people say, you eventually become who you want to become. So, yeah, that if is huge. So is everybody willing to write their goal, announce their goal here and be okay with it?
I want to, real quick, I want to go backwards in time. Let's say you would have taken the opportunity, clearly was not their vision. Yeah. Apparently, when you gave them that bigger vision, it was too big, right?
Yeah.
That means your vision was further than theirs.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. You know what they told me? It's funny. We're talking about Terry Barrier. They told me that, oh, no, we're comfortable doing what we're doing. Why would you be doing $100 million? At the time, they were doing $12 million. And I told them, hey, guys, first step is we need to do this, do that to hit $100 million. They're like, oh, no, this is our comfort level. We want to stay here. I was like,
so what was their vision for you then?
$12 million.
There you go.
What they already know how to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? If you would have stayed there, different reality.
Yeah.
You agree?
Oh, yeah. And if I would have confirmed, absolutely, yeah.
Today is how many years later?
This is 2013.
Chances are,
13, yeah.
if you would have stayed on track and not worked with the vision,
mm-hmm.
you might still be in the same place. Think about that. And so it's important, the people that you hang around with, the people that you mix with, and especially working with people that want to grow. If not, we're on plan.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
the key here is not to be content. Be happy with what you have in life, but not be content. Because when you're content, you're not thinking anymore. You're not going to imagination. You're not going to think bigger stuff, better stuff. You're not thinking about new vision. If you're content, you're like, well, I've made it. That's it. I'm done.
You're going as far as you'll ever go.
Yeah. But when you're always not content, then you know there's always more, better. There's always life, that there's always these goals. Goals are not to get. Really, when you understand goal setting is about who you become. Because everything that you set, that's why I said, don't just write anything that you think you can get. Write something that is beyond you, truly beyond you. Because when you start thinking about that, you need to, because it's not in your subconscious mind, you're going to start feeling the fear and doubt and worry. How am I going to make this work? How do I going to risk all this for that? What if I fail? What if I cannot make it? What are my family going to say? Mother of my husband, wife is going to say.
So again, the decisions you make, the thought precedes a thought, that precedes a thought, that precedes a thought, and before you know it, you're on plan. Some plan. You're on a plan. We are all on a plan.
Mm-hmm.
We're either going where our subconscious is taking us, or we're going to work with our own vision. One or two. So whatever you're doing right now, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're on plan. You don't change. 10 years from now, guess what? 20 years from now, guess what? This is real. Life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. If you would have kept doing what you're doing, you might not be here today. Chances are, right?
Yeah.
Goals? You want to go back to the goal?
Yeah. So goal setting, I want everybody to write it and what they think about that, because you got to be okay with you got to be okay knowing that going after it, you're going to acquire it, because you can write a goal. Everybody can imagine, right? But why cannot they can bring it to a life? Why they cannot experience it? Because we all have ability to consciously imagine what we want, but after a little bit of trying to pursue that, our paradigms kick in, and it's a bad feeling. It's a horrible feeling, and we want to be comfortable going back to where we're at. We let go of that dream, making excuses as it wasn't for me. I didn't have the money. It wasn't the right timing. Somebody else did it, and I called them and asked them, and they said, "Oh, that's horrible. Don't do that."
Who are they asking?
They're asking the other person's paradigm.
They're asking people that haven't done it either. Because there was really somebody that done anything of any great consequences or said that, good. Have you built a plan? Good. Did you put a date on it? Ooh. How many of you put a date on it? Date makes it real, doesn't it?
The fun part about it is finding the way to get there. You don't need to know how. Let's go over your goal and see what you have down and how you think you can acquire it. And that's a starting point. And keep thinking about it. We're going to talk about it. Keep thinking about it and you find out how. It's very simple. You have access to all the resources that you need, but you got to make a serious decision. That's what I want. And do not negotiate with less than that. Do not settle for less than that.
If you are, you're negotiating with your program.
Yeah.
In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely enslaved by daily trivia. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely enslaved by daily trivia. A lot of people live their whole life that way. I looked around. My God, I don't want to have what they have. I looked around. They keep getting the same results. I didn't want to get the results anymore. Then I better start thinking in a different way. They get up at the same time. They go to the same job. They express the same behaviors at the same job. Never to get anywhere different. It wasn't that they couldn't. They didn't believe they could. And it wasn't that they couldn't do more in the same business they were in. Hell, they could have ran the company if they wanted to. They just didn't believe they could. Nobody's stopping anybody when we really think about it.
So who's ready to announce their goal? I'm expecting everyone does it, but I don't want to push anyone. And tell me how you think you can acquire that goal. You want to go?
Go first. I'll go first. So my goal is to be the person that helps others understand their potential. So just to be the light in someone else's darkness. So that has to take formation. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a coach, a speaker, an author, a community influencer.
Very good.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
Well, I have to earn some money. It's going to take a bit.
Right.
And what I have already in progress is building a business for myself, a coaching business, but also a nonprofit as well to help that community aspect. And I want to give back. So I want to make at least 100 million annually start.
Sure.
Yeah. And I want to have all this done by the end of the year as far as getting everything launched.
What business are you planning to utilize to get there?
My coaching business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My coaching business. That's where the income is going to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where does it really come from? Money's the result.
So it's going to come from me.
There you go.
Yeah.
What you do.
What I do.
Service that you put out, yeah. Anyone else? Go ahead. Can you use the microphone if you want?
Okay, so my goal by this time next year
Uh-huh.
is to build a company. I'll build a company that is on the national level, that we are offering world-class customer service,
Mm-hmm.
with clarity and with purpose to help other companies grow. So also tied to monetary,
Uh-huh.
personal monetary, create an income of $1 million plus
Uh-huh.
annually.
Good. So what do you think when you say that, when you think about that, what do you think after that? What comes with your thoughts?
Well, to me, vision and the clarity
Mhm.
of that vision. And then the steps on how to get there.
Uh-huh.
So I have to plan with a purpose on a daily basis,
Yeah.
to a monthly basis, to a quarterly basis, to an annual basis.
Yeah.
That's
So that's really good. So when you guys are thinking about goals, don't think about all these logical things, how and what would happen if this happened or economy happened, whatever. Don't think of any of that. Just think about, you have to think about from that point, right? I want you to start imagining that, okay, you already that person, that company that is already that right now, right? And start tracking it back. What does that mean? That means you got to assume what you want is already fulfilled, right? And when you start assuming, looking at work from that point, you're going to start saying, okay, I want to, whatever that monetary numbers that you have, I'm going to break it down to a day, right? I'm going to break it down to a week. I'm going to break it down to a month. I'm going to break it down to a quarter, right? Now, when I'm writing that, I'm going to say, okay, I understand that if this is what I want, right, on the another column, what do I need to do to bring that, right? And you're keeping your mind imagining that you're already that. What happens is you start getting ideas. Hey, Joe, do this, do that. Maybe hire this person. Maybe you need that person there to connect the dots for you. Like, you get these ideas out of nowhere. If you listen, if you pay attention, if you are preoccupied with that state, that imagination state that you're in, that you're assuming what you want is already here, all the answer will come to you. But it's up to you to take action. Where we fall short is not taking action because of the terror barrier, because of our programming, because of our condition and way of thinking. That's amazing. Think about that.
That's called meditating on purpose.
How amazing that is.
How many people meditate for nothing? No wonder they don't get an idea. They just want to be calm and think of nothing. They get there. But when you meditate on purpose, it means you're resting in that vision, and then all of a sudden you get ideas. Hell, I just sit for ideas. That's what I do. And I help people win. I could meditate on nothing too. That isn't any fun for me. Visionary?
else?
Anyone else on their vision? goal?
I got one. I see myself as an oil and gas international mogul in the valve industry. See myself everywhere because gas, natural gas, oil and gas is everywhere. And valves are in everything: chemical, vapor, steam, water. It's everywhere.
Wonderful. You must be sharing the same vision.
Abraham, I got another one too. Actually, I got two. Mine are freedom and understanding. I want to do whatever I want whenever I want with the people I love.
What's going to take you there?
I want to understand the power of the mind and unlock my full potential.
Yeah. To what definite purpose? Life needs something to express itself, to see itself. What are you using to give you that?
I'm using my knowledge and my services to help other people.
There you go. So the tool, we all need a tool. That's what I was poking fun at meditation, because a lot of times we meditate to be calm and have nothing. So then we get nothing, we get no idea. But when we meditate and use the same form to a definite end, that's where you get ideas. It's the same power, just directed.
Yeah. Just when we're talking about what we want, I want you to think about this. Like I heard that firm want that I heard from you, Alonzo. Alonzo, right? That was Alonzo talking. Mm-hmm. I heard that from you, but think about this. When we say we want, we think it's all about me, right? And that's a wrong attitude. It is about you, but it's not. What does that mean? That means when you say, I want this, you want to hit $1 million plus a yearly, that's great. We know now what you want. Now you need to turn that in want to be. What does that mean? That means you got to give $1 million plus service to that company in order to receive $1 million service to that company. So it's all about, what am I going to give?
What am I willing to give?
Willing to give to receive that. Like I always, when I heard that from Bob, I was like, and that changed my mind. I was like, what am I going to give to my business partner? What am I going to give to a customer? What am I going to give to my businesses to acquire the monetary goal that I'm expecting, that I want? What do you want? What are you going to do? So it's all solely upon me what I'm going to do to achieve the monetary goals that I want. It's to me to give that service, because we say we want and we don't want to
do the work,
help others to succeed. Your succeed is, if you want to succeed, you got to help others succeed. So you got to give. You got to help others. That's why when we understand that, we work as a community, we work all together. We work against each other. And we address that sometimes we have meetings, and I see we have different companies, and we see individuals have a little bit of, the mindset of my company. And we always say, hey, if everybody works together, everybody wins. If we work together, we win. But if we work against each other, we're not getting anywhere. It's very important to understand, if I can help others, if I can help here, if I can help there, that's how I'm going to be helped. If my goal is like, I always tell people this, like, don't be jealous, about others, what they achieve, or the goals that they achieve, or the promotion they get, or the money they have, the house they have, whatever they have. Ever be jealous, because you're releasing that. And whatever you release has to come back to you. Always affirm that. Yeah, that's great. That's what I want to. That's what I want to work toward. When you do that, you release that energy. Energy is when we're expressing. Expression is energy, right? And whatever we're expressing has to come back to its source. So if my intention is helping everyone here, helping my business partner, helping everyone that I work with, guess what's going to happen? What the universe is going to bring to me? It's going to help me to get what I want to get. So when you understand that concept, and instead of you worrying about the result, you start thinking about how I can perform better, how I can give more services, how I can be more valuable, because I enjoy being valuable. I enjoy giving. Because I'm always working on my performance. Therefore, through law of cause and effect, because I'm the cause, right? Effect, the result has to come. It's a law.
Equal in proportion to what you give, always. So when we look at it's a transaction. The more you give, the more you receive. The more services you render, the more the return.
Mm-hmm.
And when you work on a model to a definite end of acquiring wealth, then that means you're going to work in a certain way to deliver world-class service so that you can receive what you want to receive. Visioneering is knowing where you are and where you are going.
I think he was going to say something. Go ahead, Robert.
Well, I was just going to share my goal, and it's really my lifetime goal that's always driving me every day. And it's I want to build my own outdoor sporting goods outfitter enterprise. And my steps towards that goal, which, so my end goal, so my date is, I'm saying by the time I'm 40, so that'll be 2031.
Okay.
The year I want to have my own building purchased that has my own name on it. So number one goal is to build income in order to gain capital. Because to operate a business, I went to business school. The fundamentals, you have to have capital. You have to have resources, material. You have to have parts, whatever, artwork, machinery. All that costs money, obviously. Mm-hmm. So the more I grow my income, the more I have to put into those resources.
Sure.
Then in the meantime, I came home to go to the oil field where I can learn experience in supply chain and parts distribution, which is literally what I'm doing right now for this company. So while I'm building, I'm also learning practical skills that are going to help me later on as I program my mind to do what I want to do. Then number 3 is to invest to create multiple sources of income. Like I want to invest in stocks. I'm learning about stock market, how that system works, and investing in oil wells and investing in, what's close to home, because I understand that more than anything. I grew up in West Texas, and then that's increasing my value and my worth. Mm-hmm. And then number 4 is to finally acquire my building. My store where I can begin my operation, my office, and start making it a body, a physical thing. And then once my business is running, my goal is to put REI Academy and Dick Sporting Goods out of business. Because my goal is to take all their concepts of devising markets and put them into one concept where, everybody can be a rock climber and a basketball player at the same time. And then that's pretty much it.
Good. You said the beginning of that, and the beginning was having the business, but really the beginning was having a vision.